Several weeks ago, Olivia Arts Modular sent me over the Time Machine, and although I have not had a lot of bandwidth or really spare moments to get to video editing, video recording, I wanted to actually take a moment and just document some of my thoughts about it. It's a really interesting delay, and I have a lot to say about it. This is going to be pretty unfiltered, minimal edits. I don't have a script. I mean, I barely ever have a script. I don't really have a game plan. I set up a really basic beat using some Octatrack stock samples and plats, which I had to pull off of a shelf back there, to create this, which is this kind of bass melody sort of thing. So this is plats, and it's FM mode, just going through dry. Just weird contextless bleep booping. So recently I've been focusing more on my day job, a couple other projects, specifically trying to finish up this record that I've been working on for the better part of 3 years that I really want to get done soon. And that is the context in which I've kind of talked about modular on this channel before, which is effects processing, taking things from my DAW and passing through them, through modules that is, especially stereo delays, weird filters, etc. And this kind of slots right into that paradigm. Obviously that's not how I'm using it here, but I wanted to see if I can get some of the vibe that I've been enjoying running signals through. So let's start to bring some stuff up. This module has several overview videos on it already. So if you're interested in it, I'm going to assume that you've already seen them. I'm not going to rehash them, but I wanted to talk about my experience actually just having it. Again, I got sent this. There was no money exchanged hands. There was no expectation of a video, but I did want to make one, and I kind of wanted to push myself to actually get one done. So what are my thoughts? This is a really fascinating module, and it's kind of surprising to me that nothing specifically like this existed before, because in terms of its interface, the closest two comparisons I can make about it are that it is like a dub console, and the spirit essentially of mutable instruments kind of put into one. And prior to that, all of the stuff that Emily Gilley had been making were like desktop units and various other projects. And I can't remember if I read this in a product blurb or on her forum, but my understanding, and you can only partially quote me on this, my understanding of MI's whole design philosophy was that they wanted controls to be condensed, accessible, and immediately intuitive. You can kind of see that in things like plats or beads or even tides. So what's going on here? Sequence is coming from the Octatrack. I have an envelope coming from the Tenderfoot hike that is being triggered by the same sequence with velocity modification on the length of the two-stage envelope going into the harmonics. There's a sample and hold free running going into the timbre, mod wheel into the morph, and then I have a free running LFO that is going into the time CD, in addition to just the basic clock that's coming in. And what I've found with when I've had the opportunity to use this over the past couple of weeks is this feels a lot more like playing a feels like playing sends on a console than it does using a delay module. That's something I have a little bit of experience with. I have more experience with just doing the actual like guitar recording and then sending things out back through, like a tape delay or something, and just listening for interesting textures. I guess this is going to be pretty rambly. You can get almost these slapback textures. You whip the time right down. You can start to get these flanger sounds. I'm really only using, half of the taps right now. I can bring it right down. That's a fun metallic texture. Here, let's bring in a filter. Let's see what's going on with what I have going on the Octatrack. Here's a fun fact for you. This is actually probably the first actual beat that I have made on this sampler. I've had it for a while, but I've been using it for prepping or beginning to prep live shows. So I haven't really wanted to dig into it for its production capabilities because I have too many things that I'm working on. I don't want to start anything new. Well, anything new as soon as several other things I'm starting. I'm breaking up a video of me just playing around with this delay. Yeah, the mixer accent is really, really composed because with one or two hands you can explore this. I'd say this is like the kind of really make it into, a final song, but It really is a mixer, and that it seems obvious, with the interface, but I don't think I've ever encountered a delay that works quite like this in terms of its physicality. And I know now that there are a couple versions, offshoots of this because it is open source. People are making with different interfaces, knobs, sideways sliders. I really think that this layout is optimal for what this idea is. This isn't, it's really kind of like an all-in-one effects thing. It's just that it's a delay. And so treating it like a mixer, treating each of these taps as like its own separate entity that has interactions with the taps around it, but is not wholly separate from them, has been how I've had to approach this. And because of that, and because of the, it's like, minimum, maximum in terms of volume, the CV inputs, and then these knobs, which, don't have fixed positions, it is deceptively, I'm not gonna say performance oriented, it's more like performance necessary. Every time I've booted it up, I've had to massage myself into a good place for recording, 10 seconds of a chorus. I have really excellent chorus. It's also one of the most fun things to clock that I have in this system. I love tempo sync to anything. I love shifting the tempo sync points to things. I love doing trigger offsets. And this really rewards being in sync with everything else. And it's very done. So I'm going to bring down that 5/8. Bring down that less spread, it's getting a bit too phased out. When it's given a really narrow frequency range so that the taps can bounce back into each other and have those frequencies poke out at different times, as opposed to a full ring signal where it's more of the traditional echo effect, is really the best way to use it. So obviously I've been chilling in this place for a couple minutes now. Let's bring this down. Dry near the top, hitting that soft clip that this has. Let's try to bring this back into the center. I'm actually going to remove the time CD. Less of that wobbling. So this is obviously how delays work, but it's turning into steel drum. It's like stuff I would see at festivals when I was a kid. This is what I mean by performative. It's delay as percussion. Rolls with the spread. And there's no feedback happening. I've been wanting for a while to see if I can afford to get myself a D-fan. I'm really interested in that as a like pitched percussion module, and I think that it would pair really beautifully with this. Filtering the oscillators separately, mixing them back into something like this, maybe having a low pass gate equivalent. Let's bring in the time sequence. Yeah, it's more into kind of like what sub 30 milliseconds, like flanging kind of delay phasing territory. This is also a really good short reverb. And then comb filter resonator stuff. Let's try sending another comb filter into it. Doing any kind of distortion into it. Anyway, what else is there to say about this? Honestly, not much. It is, I hate to say this, it's deceptively simple. It's really the kind of module that needs to be played rather than programmed. I think that was a very intentional choice, and it really worked out. It's compelling. It's very, very compelling in a way that I did not expect. Liv just said this to me. She was like, hey, what's your address again? And then just it showed up a couple weeks later. And I didn't really know what I was going to say. I honestly didn't expect to like it. I didn't know what I was going to like about it. And I love it, actually. I don't just like it. I really, really, really love it. And I think I'm so deep in the production process on all of these songs, and all these effects are baked in, and I'm trying to find these small moments where I can fit this in, especially as a modulation sound, because it is that compelling. And what I can say is it's gonna probably have pride of place here until I can have my full performance system where it might not have enough space to accommodate that. And I'm considering kind of reshuffling my whole multi-year modular plan to make space for it, because it is really that good. It's so immediate. Yeah, a completely different sound pattern. Oh. Anyway, like I said, this is really off the cuff. It's not structured. I don't have a plan for this one. I didn't know what I'm doing. It's just kind of the sound. That soft clip really isn't. It's the saturation point that really kind of makes everything very musical. Well, okay, I need to get back to work. There's so many things to do today. It's going to be a very busy evening, busy weekend. I'm going to quickly throw this together, resolve, and send it up. And yeah, I would love to try to get back to that weekly schedule I was attempting for a month, but they don't tell you that shooting these videos and editing them is honestly quite cool. So, as much as I'd like to come up with something to talk about in the next week, who knows? Might be significantly more than that. Regardless, this has been wonderful. I have been cozy, and this has been the OAM Time Machine, which is a module you should buy. I don't really feel comfortable saying that for most things because, who knows what anyone actually needs, but you should get this. This is really something. It's really, really something.